Hey Scorpio, welcome to your mid-April check-in. This is general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You may get a little, you may get a lot. Check your sun, moon, rising, and Venus sign, as well as your midheaven if you have access to your natal chart and know what that is. So I guess without further ado, let's just dive into it and see what we've got going on for you for the second half of April. Today's the 19th, so we're at the start of Taurus season. Good time to slow down and, commit to something long term. But it's like, but what is that, right? Anywho, but there's something here where I'm getting some type of feeling about like imposter syndrome. But in the sense that it's like maybe you've kind of changed the way you move through the world by renegotiating who you are. And I feel like that's not necessarily a great thing. And maybe you've done this in order to survive some type of space or situation, or even to survive yourself in some capacity. But let's see what the cards have to say here, Scorpio. Okay. So starting off, we have the Fool card. We have the Three of Pentacles, and we have the Page of Cups. Both that Three of Pentacles and the Page of Cups are in reverse. So let's see. I feel like, you're really wanting to birth some type of new beginning. I also feel like this could represent maybe someone younger than you that you feel like is a bit reckless. And you feel like they're not really contributing in some capacity, but I feel like there's something to be learned from here. Whoever this youthful presence is, it doesn't necessarily have to be someone younger than you, but sometimes that's just how it is. You may recognize them as having a youthful energy or glow about them. But this is someone who, makes no hesitations when it comes to opportunity. They live life with an open heart and may have had instances where they've needed to protect themselves, but they're still learning things. And I feel like in some way, like luck has been on their side, which could have you being a bit resentful that you yourself haven't been able to come together and work with them as a team. But I feel like there's a selfish tendency here where there's part of you kind of lurking in the shadows that's wanting something because you feel like you're alien to the concept of some type of success or being able to engage with some of that energy yourself and reignite it, reawaken it from within you. And so what this Page of Cups is symbolizing here is your need to create something. And that really starts with you getting into a space of more self-love and acceptance of self. Where do your strengths lie? And how have you adapted yourself in a way, minimized yourself in order to achieve certain standards of comfort and security? Because I feel like once you get into a space of play and accessing the knowledge that you once lived life upon, right? That was part of your foundation, the foundations of your experience and what you would choose ultimately in your life. I feel like you'll find something quite surprising for yourself. Scorpio, almost called you Sagittarius. My bad. So yeah, I feel like there's something there. And I feel like, there needs to be a little bit of credit due. Like there's some amount of credit due that needs to be given here, Scorpio. And I feel like you may be resistant toward offering that. And it would be wise of you in order to be able to maintain some type of sanctuary here with this person where you can maintain some type of relationship or some trust with them, because I feel like there's something about you that's just like where your shadow self is being highly activated here. And I feel like in a way you have become frozen in this space. It's almost like this has happened before, maybe many times over. I just kind of think about the concept of like a living statue and the appearance of someone being frozen and timeless and stuck in a specific posture or pose. And it could be you in some way stuck in a specific type of energy because of the way that you see this person, maybe, or because you put yourself on a pedestal when in all actuality you're not really making any moves. And it could just be like maybe upset in terms of the position that you've taken versus someone not feeling the need to set themselves into stone in some way, to set something in stone. Maybe you're upset at the lack of commitment that others have, but it's like sometimes commitment may be good and all, but not if we're in a situation that doesn't really speak to us, doesn't really speak to who we are, right? Doesn't really speak to the experience that we're trying to create here. And then we have this three of swords at the bottom, of the deck, and it's like there's a lot of emotion, a lot of feeling that perhaps you're just not really allowing yourself to express or put out into the world. I feel like there's a need to get clear on why you're feeling the way you're feeling, and to take full responsibility of it. I feel like you've allowed yourself to be like you're stuck in a hard place without any decisions, without any choices. I'm sorry, but your situation not being as bad as it could be. It's just you constantly raining on your own parade here, Scorpio. And that's not great. And so it's like it's causing you a lot of confusion. You're not seeing the world around you very clearly at times, and I feel like it's because you do your best to set yourself apart, and therefore create separation. You create so much separation in your life in terms of what I'm seeing here, and it's not good. It's not beneficial to you. It doesn't allow you to make the connections that you desire to make, and to build the life that you're hoping to lead to expand on your resources. And we have this eight of wands here at the bottom of the deck, and so it's like I'm getting deja vu. It's like you're being overlooked. It's like maybe again you're experiencing some type of situation. It's like this has happened before, and it's like you know, wake up and make sure that you're not going back into that muscle memory of how you behaved and how you responded to whatever is going on, to whatever this youthful energy is, and not allowing yourself to learn something from this conflict, you know, from this cycle that is repeating itself again, because I assure you it's repeating, and things happen again and again and again until we learn from them, Scorpio. So I feel like it's very important for you to recognize that. I also feel like there's part of you that wants to mask or obscure someone's beauty, because there's a certain amount of jealousy or desire there that you feel like you want for yourself. And you know, and this could be fluid, so it could be vice versa. Maybe someone thinking that about you, but I do feel like this is you engaging in this lower level behavior that, and like this is the warning from the universe, right? It's like if you want something to change, you gotta change. Here we have eccentricity with the Fool card. We have protection in the reverse with the Three of Pentacles, and we have companionship with the Page of Pentacles. So it's like you have a chance here for a really strong connection or a strong bond, a strong ally. But I feel like you're so put off by the ways in which you do things differently. Maybe you used to behave in this way, but now you see it as, now that you're established in something, right? You see yourself in a specific role. You identify through certain actions or lenses that you see this person as highly unusual. And it's almost kind of disgusting to you in some way. And it's like, but no, can we please recognize the beauty here? What are the positives here? Why is this energy of this person showing up? What are you learning? What are you recognizing perhaps about the ways in which you see yourself and you limit yourself? Because I feel like you may be protecting yourself from the truth here. And if that is so, why are you continuing to live in an illusion? Because illusions end up putting ourselves in great risk when we're stuck in illusions, and we forget who we are, and therefore we'll fall for anything, and we'll continue to go deeper and deeper into situations that aren't for us, right? And continue to create chaos around us that isn't conducive to growth, right? It's just chaos for the sake of chaos. And it's interesting because this eccentricity card is 11, this protection card is 1. And so I feel like there's something that you can learn here that which would actually be doubling your manifestation power, something that would offer you a world of, I don't want to say convenience, but of confidence, right? And so it's like, how can you create peace create a truce with this energy and allow there to be some type of reconciliation. Allow yourself to shed a little bit of weight here in the process because it feels like a very heavy space. I feel like there needs to be a moment where emotions can come back into balance. Here at the bottom, we have the speculation card. Don't act like you know it all, Scorpio. No one knows everything, right? It's only when we allow ourselves to try on different perspectives and feel through things in different and new ways do we get to know more and more of the bigger picture here, to get to know what's really going on, to release our fears and to find illumination in order to recognize cycles and patterns and then grow through them and eventually emerge into new ones. There's something about truth here that's really important, truth and power. And I feel like instead we continue to work off certain beliefs just due to the way in which the life that you've created for yourself. And it's like part of you is scared to move outside of that and to become a student once again. And it's necessary for you to play and engage in that. Here on the other side is authority. And so it's like, you may be doing too much to try to control a situation. Give up just a little bit of your power, let go, surrender just a little bit and see what happens. I feel like you're holding too strongly onto something and it's time to release and be a little bit more flexible here. Because the ways in which you're trying to navigate the situation just aren't leading toward a happy and fulfilling destiny here. I feel like for those of you, if this is a family situation, it could it could create a much larger rift, or if this deals with a group of people, it could create a much larger rift if not approached with a little more heart. Because I feel like there's a bit of manipulative quality here, almost like a possession of sorts. It's like being kind of fixated, possessed, wanting something, but not being willing to, not wanting to live with it unless you yourself can have it, if that makes sense. Oh, wow. Okay, so I thought I was pulling one card, but I pulled like three. So we have the Five of Cups in the reverse, we have the Sun card in the reverse, and we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse. And I'm sorry, it's pollen season, so my allergies have been on the fritz lately. So if I make weird faces, that's totally why. I should probably take some Claritin. Anywho, so this Five of Cups is saying, I feel like this younger person is finding out is figuring out what they don't want here. They're figuring out what's wrong in the picture here and are doing their best to build a way out, to move away, to make a way forward with what they've got. They may not have much, or you may actually have kind of ruined their chances at building something better for themselves. But they're doing their best to commit to, they're doing their best to have the courage to still move on and to still maintain the energy that they need, maintain the energy of who they are in order to find a way forward. Because at this point, at a certain point, they're going to want to seek protection from you and from the energy that you're putting off unconsciously. And with this Sun card here, I feel like, there's a certain, again, I think I was talking about needing to adapt, needing to rework the plan here a little bit, because I feel like there's such a rigidity coming from you, Scorpio, in this. It's like loosen up a little bit is what I'm getting here. It's like you could be operating from a deeper fear. I feel like instead you've worked somehow yourself into a position of being seen as a bit childish at times, even though you're doing your best to be like an authority of some sort. It's like you feel like people aren't hearing you, and so you figure out other ways to act out in order to get attention here, and it's not creating the right message. And then with this King of Pentacles here in reverse, I feel like there's some concern over money or material possessions here. Maybe being concerned about someone not coming in to offer you that, being overlooked, and instead being kind of a servant or a slave to some type of acquisition of wealth. And I feel like there's some action that you're just not willing to take that could actually protect whatever abundance you seek or that you're trying to call in or to imitate. in some way, shape, or form. Because it just right now, it feels like you just have this costume on that's not really offering you it's not, it's kind of acting as a repelling force here and not really attracting what you want. So be mindful of that. Here at the bottom, we have the Hierophant in reverse, which to me is just kind of marking that you're not really acting in ways that are conducive to long-term relationship building. It's like you're not committed to learning anything because you feel like you know it all in some capacity, Scorpio. And what's being called here is a need to kind of refine things a little bit. It's like, there are some things I'll admit that you're probably doing right, but I feel like in this one area or whatever is coming up, whenever there's a threat or something, it's like you go back into this certain type of mode, Scorpio. And you're a symbol of transformation. And so if you're not in a state of consistently transforming and adapting and upgrading yourself, you end up being a very protective, combative type of mode. It's like you're quick to bring death into a situation, whether or not you're realizing it. And so it's like, but with death, you usually feel like something new comes in. It's like, no, sometimes the death of a situation is a death of a situation as we know it, because we come across a new perspective, because we recognize the emotional bearing that something has on us. And so we then release it in order to bring things back into a state of flow, a state of progress, a state of growth, right? Where then we're clearly able to see what type of beliefs and philosophies have kept perpetuating certain things and happening. And I think I mentioned something about deja vu earlier. So yeah, it's like, has this happened before? How did you respond to it? Can you change it? Again, let's like lose the gravity of the situation and enter a space to be more lighthearted. I feel like you're really trying to stake your claim and stand your ground here, but for what? For what reason? What is your intention here? Is it self-serving, or is it for a much greater cause? Because I feel like, again, this has happened before. So really look at it in as many ways as you can. Step out of yourself for a second and figure out what's causing kind of this air of jealousy here, or this protective kind of nature, because it's not serving you well, Scorpio. And I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I know that wasn't the most exciting reading, but I feel like it's very important to hear these things when they come about. It's like, I feel like however you're digesting a situation is not sitting well with you, and is going to create a kind of a space where you're going to where things will be forced to be released. And it's not going to be on your terms. So this is kind of a warning here. So be mindful. Do not act impulsively. I feel like there's someone here that's kind of watching what you're doing, and was ready to cut you off, is ready to pass some type of judgment here. It's like I'm getting this type of Queen of Swords energy. It's like whatever you do right now is making it clear for someone else what they need to do in response. So be mindful, all right? Choose wisely, move slowly, be self-aware, and don't be selfish here, okay? All right, so that's what I have for you, Scorpio. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.